It's Halloween time, and I'm going to be playing some horror games. Now, I'm not talking about scary games, I'm talking about horror games, anything that has to do with the horror genre. Whether it's silly, like The Adventures of Dr. Franken, or actually scary, like Silent Hill 4 The Room.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Anyway, let's play some games. First up, Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, I might get hated on for talking about this one because of all its popularity right now, but it's a very unique take on the horror genre of this generation. Nowadays, horror games just resort to jump scares, which are fun, but they don't give you that creepy feeling while playing before they jump scare you, like the feeling you get while playing Five Nights at Freddy's. This is why I think it's gotten so much praise. It's a point-and-click game with no real graphics besides just pictures, so it's similar to something you might see on the Sega CD and similar consoles. But we all know how that would have turned out. The plot is, if you haven't already heard, you've been hired for a night shift at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, a pizza restaurant for kids with dancing, singing, animatronic animals. This game opens up to a friendly voice coming from your telephone telling you the basics, although the creepiness starts with him telling you.
So just be aware, the characters do tend to wander a bit. They're left in some kind of free roaming mode at night.
You can bring up the camera and switch between rooms to view. Soon enough, the animals will start moving and once in a while come to the doors on either side. When that happens, you have to close the doors to keep them from getting in and jump scaring you. The way they creep around and look in the cameras is so creepy. Overall, it's a very original game and well deserving that you try it out. Next up, Ghosts and Goblins on the NES. This game has a following of being one of the hardest games on NES, but it's still very fun to attempt. After a while, you get used to the first couple of levels because every time you turn off the NES, you have to start from the beginning. No saves, no passwords, nothing. Although this is sort of fair because when you get a game over, you can continue from your last checkpoint. So ultimately, you get infinite lives to beat the game in one sitting. And this is twice as difficult because, spoiler alert, after you get to the 6th level and beat the final boss, you get a text screen telling you this room is a trap devised by Satan. And you have to beat it again from level 1 to really beat it. And if this isn't hard enough, you also have to beat the boss with the right weapon, or you'll go back to level 5 and have to beat level 5, 6, and the bosses again with the right weapon. So yeah. Really hard, ruthless, and annoying game, but it's also fun. Now, for a real game. Super Castlevania 4. This is a mind-blowing game for the Super Nintendo, released by Konami in 1991. This game is everything you've ever heard about it, and more. But the main thing I'm going to focus on are graphics and music. This game is one of the prettiest games I've seen. The colorization, the shading, and the depth of field make it all the more enjoyable. And being a game programmer and designer, I can tell you, this is not easy to execute. But the real thing that had me up all night playing this game was the music. It never gets old and really gets you pumped to beat the level. And when you do, you feel rewarded. The song Bloody Tears is played a few levels before the end, and having played Castlevania Simon's Quest before, I was aware of the song's epicness. And hearing it with the capabilities of the SNES, I was dancing in my seat, which most likely resulted in a few lost lives, but it was worth it. Just listen to this epicness. Castlevania 4 is actually a remake of the original Castlevania on the NES, which spawned 2 sequels on the NES and a growing legacy, which eventually went down the drain. Anyway, this is a must-play if you have an SNES or an emulator. 5 out of 5 to me, and by far the best Castlevania game. Don't give me that Directed Legs crap, it's this one.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not.
Oh, hi, Mark.